as Eli Manning stays on his feet. It is caught by Tyree.
Welcome to Catch the Moment Podcast. I'm your host, David Tyree. Thank you for joining us for another episode. Let's get straight to it. Let's get you on the path, the journey, the pain point, the process. How do we get you to your next moment? Today I got a friend here, Kevin Monangai. Brought him all the way we brought him out of Philly, y'all. We brought him out of Philly into the New York Giant Cove as a coach and transitioned to a full-time Scrum Master. I love your journey, bro. Thanks for coming through.
Oh, so happy to be here, man. Yeah, got to the light, man. You know,
got to the light. You had a good little season over there in East Rutherford.
Yeah.
Nah, man. Appreciate you getting to the table. Before we dive into your journey, man. Obviously, good sip of tea in the National Football League. We're gonna talk a little bit about that. Amazing career at Villanova. We'll definitely get into it. But before we get into some of your moments, you got to tell me where you were. You know, you're younger than me. So how old were you the first time you ever saw the helmet catch?
Oh, no doubt.
Any memories you had? Bring it to us. Give it to us.
So I don't remember how old I was, but I was definitely in middle school / high school.
Bet.
Watching it with my parents. Giants fan through and through.
Okay.
And I thought
Jersey, right?
Jersey boy.
Essex County.
Okay.
You have to get you clear the air.
Yeah, man. It was fantastic. I didn't think we was gonna make it, man. I didn't think we was gonna win. I'm like, I'm sitting in front of the TV.
You was butthurt fourth quarter.
Listen, Eli threw that thing up, man. I looked at my dad and we just screamed, bro. It was fantastic. It was a
nice little family moment.
It was a family moment, man.
That's what's up, man. Happy to bring the families together. Happy to unite us.
Yes. Yeah. It was a good time. It was a good time.
Listen, man, you got some really dope, like I said, when I obviously we got a chance to meet each other as actually, professionals. Yeah. You were transitioning from kind of like in that transition space from being an athlete and looking to make a mark in coaching. But man, you got a tons of interesting, I guess like storylines. African, what nation? Cameroonian.
Yes.
They don't get enough play. Y'all out here, but y'all, Nigerians out here running the Ghana.
It's crazy. We like the cousin in the back.
Sneaking in out here. We sneaking in.
Yes.
But also, like I said, just well-groomed. It looks like your parents had a plan when they came in here. Yes. And even your brother right now at Rutgers, right?
Yes.
What was part of that early foundation that you felt like, put you on track to begin to have this curated plan? Because there's a lot of there's a lot of intention, it looked like, along the way.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head, man. Just great parents. Really had a great start in life. Just them coming over here, 18 years old or so. College educated, did the whole thing. They're fantastic. I honor them deeply, because when I just consider, people, it's a lottery of life, right? Like we don't get to choose what we're born into. And
that was a nice one.
Yeah, man.
lottery of life. No one gets the chance to choose where they start out, right?
No.
Bad.
But man, the education, really the bedrock of
listen, my immigrant family, especially the Africans, don't play. What you gonna do?
Yes, be a doctor, a lawyer, or engineer. I was neither, but
So what were and obviously you got, thank God, you got hooked to athletics.
Yes.
And we're gonna get into some of your freakish, freakish combine activity.
Yes.
At what point did you kind of get some of the inclination athletically? And even so, was there any early adversity? Was the natural talent and gifting just there, and you were kind of finding your pathway pretty naturally? I know you end up in that wicked school called Seton Hall Prep.
Essex County, Essex County.
We got to throw our bands in.
Yes, but I think it was the natural gifting.
Gotcha.
Around 12, 11, always ran track, but didn't really love it like that, just out there running, a young kid liking to be active. But when I started playing football at recess, man, there was something about it that just took to me.
You was about that life, about that violence?
About that life, the violence. I don't know. I was like, oh, wow, I can do this, and it feels kind of good,
A man of violence.
Man of violence.
All right, so I'm obviously setting the stage, getting into some of these different pockets of your life. Yes. But you are, I can give you a little bit of credit here. Seton Hall Prep, great, high school education. Yeah, y'all actually got some juice in y'all high school alumni. I feel like
just a little bit.
I'm like, I've been meeting a few of y'all, but you actually at Villanova. So what were some of your options and what was your recruit like? Getting recruited.
Yeah.
You were after me, so everything just intensified with every 5 years. Everything changed.
Yes.
How did that become a good fit? Was that a disappointment in your mind? And
yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah,
it was a bit. I saw myself as the D1 guy.
Yeah,
D1A, but God saw fit to make me 5'9", and but man, I was one of the top running backs in the state my junior year.
Yeah.
About 6th or 7th game of the season, we played Irvington. Got under a pile, Joker rolled and twisted my ankle intentionally, and high ankle sprain out for the rest of the year. Me and Savon Huggins were the two top guys. I was outpacing everybody by like 500-600 yards.
Yeah.
But all the teams that were about to offer me, Syracuse, Boston College, all the big schools on the East Coast, wouldn't return my phone call, man. As soon as they heard I got hurt, they stopped calling your boy.
You used to be my homie. Now you act like you
don't know me.
What is going on
it was
here?
Cold. I got that baptism into the business real quick.
Real quick. Listen, folks ain't buying no damaged goods. We leave them cans right at the store. You know how folks be out here throwing canned goods on the ground trying to get a discount.
Nah, it's none of that.
No discount. But obviously Villanova's, like y'all, great track record. Yes. I'm pretty sure Brian Westbrook, right?
Yes.
Westbrook.
Yeah.
So y'all got some guys that come out of Nova, no doubt.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of the real setbacks along the journey, because obviously you had a dynamic experience and earned the opportunity to play in the National Football League.
Yes.
What were some of your bigger challenges that like really you felt like that was the crucible for that determination that was going to get you to some of these successes?
Yeah, I think along the way just having to earn it. It was whether it was the high school situation I just mentioned, in college, the politics of all that kind of came to play.
It gets real,
and you face a choice: am I going to fold or am I going to rise to the occasion? And I think I really was blessed to have a lot of opportunities to flex that muscle. So by the time I got to the league, I had a pretty big situation where I'm an undrafted dude trying to make it. That's a whole nother monster right there.
You was back down to the bottom of the barrel, baby boy.
Bottom of the barrel. You a camp body, right? They're not looking at you like that, And plus I had DeMarco Murray, Darren Sproles, Ryan Matthews. These are some top tier jokers, okay?
Ow.
$70 million spent at my position just with those three. Just with those three. So man, I was it was a time. It was a time of my life. And I remember specifically we were playing the Ravens, and fourth quarter I'm getting my time, my little burn, and second or third play of that drive I fumbled. Ooh. So now turnover on downs. I'm going to the sidelines. My mom, my dad, everybody in the stands, everybody back in college is watching. Everybody who I knew from my younger years, and you have a moment, man. Like you worked your whole life to get to this moment, and here it is. You make a huge mistake on national television, and you got to just go to that place. That you got to pull that dog out. And man, ended up, I think, having almost 100-yard game, touchdown, game ball.
So even within that game, so you hit a moment right there. It was either sink or obviously swim, right?
Exactly.
And so you were able to rise up, put that behind you.
Yes.
Give me some of your your ideas about like mindset. Like, what do you think? From a high performance standpoint, what do you think position you to really gain entry and access to some of this success and opportunity that you've had?
Yeah, I think it was resilience. Resiliency is probably the biggest word I would speak to. There was a book my mother gave me back in high school. It was called Mind Gym, The Inner Athlete's Guide to Success by Marquez Stevens. Man, that thing, I read that book probably 30 times. And it got stories from top athletes in every sport. Tiger Woods, CC Sabathia, all these guys, and just like talking about moments where their mental game either got in the way or helped them, succeed. So I think I've been working on my mind as well as my body for years now.
I love that, bro. So resilience. Actually, you was just with Kentucky football talking about the same topic.
Awesome.
I dropped everything to Friday practice before the Super Bowl. It makes for a great story now. It wasn't fun on Friday, though.
Come on. Everybody looking at you crazy.
It wasn't fun on Friday. Like, they beat him up, ball, beat him up. You know, we out here clowning.
Clown, yeah. Okay.
All right, so talk to me like, you know, you mentioned even a few athletes. Yeah. Who were some of the pivotal people? Obviously, your parents laid a tremendous foundation in different areas, and big shout out to the, you know, Mama Monangai, Papa Monangai.
Yes.
But who were some of the other pillars or people that really gave you either inspiration or correction or discipline? Who would you consider part of that team, you know, that board that was positioning you for vision, discipline, or, you know, there's usually more than just
100%
ourselves, right?
Yeah. I mean, I had my best friend from high school, Connor Lumby. His father was literally like a second father to me.
Nice.
Raised me up in the ways of business and really got my mind to think about, you know, entrepreneurship in a different way. You know, he's self-made man himself, former Rutgers football player.
Yeah.
So he's been a pivotal person in my life, him and his wife. And even, you know, my parents didn't want me to play football, you know, so.
Okay, hold on. We just tapped into something right there.
Yeah, man, it was a battle.
So how long was it before they turned and it was like, okay.
I think it became real for them when the colleges started coming around talking
so
about
it was that long. So you actually
started. Like they was cool with it. Okay, you do your little thing. But they told me years later they didn't even think I was good like that because I was running against all these white kids.
That's fantastic.
I'm like,
that's some real stuff. And listen, we love our white brothers and sisters.
Of course.
Yeah, we be out here, you know, the inner city grind is different. You know,
different.
The hunger from the people who have not.
Right, you know. When I started doing it against East Orange, then they were like, "Oh, maybe he."
He rumbling against the boy, the salivating wild pack of animals. I love it. I love it.
Fantastic, man. But yeah, they didn't. It was my best friend's mother, Mike Mitchell, one of my best friends, long time friend.
Yeah.
His mother said, "I'll take him.
Yeah,
I'll take him to practice." They wanted nothing to do with it, but if not for the Mitchell family, man, I wouldn't have had my football career.
That's pretty dope, man. Yeah. That's pretty dope because obviously getting a chance to meet you at different levels. You know, like most athletes, of course, we want to do it and be the best at the highest level. It's a certain mentality. Talk to me about, you know, like I said, you had a good, quick, solid run up to the National Football League, Eagles, year over with the Vikings.
Yes.
And we all believe we got it. Right? So talk to me about just some of that internal transition, and eventually you actually say, you know what, I'm gonna just take this coaching opportunity that I believe it was Pat Sherman was a connect. Yes. Talk to me about that mental side of it where it's like, I know I can still do this.
Yes.
And when you decided to at least take a different route, even if it was still in sport.
I think for me it was the identity thing, right? You spend 15 years plus. I'm a football player.
Get in there, bro. This is what I do. Player. This is who I am.
Right. Like you can't tell me nothing. Okay. And man, it was 22, 23. My experience with the Vikings was over. I'm still trying to, whether it's spring league or just developmental situations,
Absolutely.
But you get to 25 and it's like your friends out here making money. You still broke, living at home with your mom and dad. It's like, all right, I need to go do something,
So you literally actually, I mean, like, even though we know we're all, there's a side where you're like, you're ready. Yes. And I hope they're calling.
Yes.
But you actually kind of say, you know what? How long could I do this?
Exactly.
So, like, You've now observed a few people who probably either still kind of in that frame of mind, right?
Yes.
And I know personally you've probably even had your own temptations, because you're still out here, lifting a gazillion pounds.
You funny, yeah.
Jokers out here lifting a gazillion pounds, making old people like me look bad. You know what I'm saying?
You're just trying to be hard to kill,
All right. So with all the successes that you've had, and we'll start talking about some of the post-sport stuff, and what would you say has been your defining moment up to this point? And obviously, there's still a lot more. I know that you kind of had some ideas in the tech realm.
Yes.
Right now, you actually work full time as a Scrum Master. We're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
Not a profession that most people. I don't think a lot of people know. I think it's people who need to know.
Yes. That's a great way to put it.
But I never heard of it until I rolled up on you.
Yes.
So, but what would you say has been your defining moment? The moment that you are most proud of yourself, your accomplishment, or that or just your growth experience in general?
Yeah, I would say my moment of salvation, to be quite honest with you.
Go there.
Yeah, man. It's really just giving my life to the Lord, realizing that despite the accolades, the accomplishments, it never really amounted to much, right? There was a lack of peace that was there. And I'm just, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the renewal of my mind and, understanding that I'm about pursuing excellence. So in any place, whether it's the marketplace, whether it's my marriage, whether it's my friendships.
Come on, bro.
I'm going to be out here. I'm going to be
Get
excellent.
in there.
I'm going to be excellent. Okay?
Get in here.
So,
we ain't going to be no raggedy Christians.
No raggedy, okay? So, yeah, man, I think that's probably my most defining moment.
Nah, man, super pride. And it's hard to trump, like, if you've actually experienced Christ, it's hard to trump the reality of finding peace and purpose in one thing, right? Like most people, even when they kind of connect to something that has true purpose, they still lacking peace, man. Lacking peace. Something like doing meaningful things.
Yes.
I can't say I'm surprised. You do have a business acumen.
Thank you.
And how old are you now?
30. I'm 30 piece.
30.
I'm 30.
I had 30-piece nugget, man. Oh, he got me all great.
Yeah, man.
This Nigerian, these chocolate jokers, him and his chocolate wife.
My chocolate wife, trying to get her pregnant, y'all.
Shooting these. Listen, now, I'm a professional. I'm a professional. Get your wife pregnant. Man.
I'm in the right place.
It's going, the rivers, it's going to flow down. You're going to be in good shape.
Hey, I receive it.
But even in relation to, some of your transition, of course, there's still growth and evolution and opportunity.
Yes.
You dabbled, I believe it's actually you and your dad have dabbled in some software and creating some different things. I know you got you got some interest in some crypto interest. We can get into that. What has been like your proudest moment in relation to pursuing excellence in the marketplace or even within sport? What would you say is like, man, I'm that dude. I feel real good about this.
Yeah. I mean, I would say, like you mentioned it, launching my first mobile application with my father. My dad's 30-plus year software developer, cybersecurity specifically. So he was literally watching Shark Tank one day, and there was this dude pushing his platform called Scholly, which is like an aggregator for academic scholarships.
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, Kev, you could do that for football, and it just fit with my narrative too, like the road I walked, right? Undrafted dude. And my recruiting experience was kind of backdoor a little bit, right?
No doubt.
So it was really built upon the idea of trying to get kids that were overlooked an opportunity or a chance, and doing so through technology. So yeah, man,
that's fantastic, bro. I mean, the funny thing about me is, like obviously we raising digitally native kids, and I'm like, you talking about the best way to have some tech skills as a dad?
Yo, man.
I mean, number one, especially as a cybersecurity, you know how to lock up these daggone devices.
You, the people we hired in India tried to steal the data from us, and it was because my dad knew what to look for. That we squashed that real quick. Squashed it.
They was trying to get you, dog.
We trying to get your boy. Before we even launched, I'm like, oh, nah, not today.
The struggle is real out here in these streets, man. All right, so it's great to hear when someone has a healthy upbringing. Sometimes, and we're all going to have our trials and our experience, our setbacks, and the things that we overcome, but we need to celebrate the two-parent home, parents who are very intentional, who have done well by their families. We're seeing it more with tremendous intent, but it's great to really acknowledge and see that. And in light of that, so from the software to now Scrum Master. All right, boom. I know the story, but it kind of give people just an idea of what that realm is, what that opportunity, and why you felt like that was a good vehicle to transition. Because now you were in coaching.
Yes.
We was actually at the Giants together.
Yes, in the trenches.
Out here in these hustling streets, hustling, bustling.
It was real.
And it's a great space to be when times are good.
Yes.
But that river dried up pretty quick.
Could have won a game, man. I'm like, golly.
Brother, and I was there for 6 years. You got to cut two-piece in.
Yes.
And most of these are jobs that most people can do. It's just, how you can get in position to do them.
Right.
So you made a quick pivot, man. And, like I said, I've seen players transition out. Yeah. And it hasn't been what I've seen from a young man your age or this sphere of life where you're so close to actually being able to play.
Yes.
How are you able to just flip that switch and be like, now I got to go get it.
Yeah.
Talk about that transition into the space, what it is, and what opportunities exist in that agile world.
Outside of football, every professional opportunity I've had especially with the app or now with Scrum Master, has been through my father. You know, my dad literally said, yo, seeing our experience together with the app, he saw me lead the project. He saw me manage deadlines, manage people. And he's like, you can do this job, because he had Scrum Masters he was working with at his job. And he's like, these guys are not that good. Yeah.
Tell the truth.
So I was like, man, he put me on the certification. We had a family friend, who was teaching a class. And, I just took to it, man. It's really about people, products, and process. And,
people, products, and process.
Yes.
Boom. Yeah. So you gave us the threefold chord as far as what it's about.
Yes.
What does it take to be good at being a Scrum Master?
Even kill personality. You can't. You're gonna have some people that gonna talk to you crazy, and you gotta just be able to keep the outcome at the forefront.
So it's like being like the therapist of a because I kind of got an idea. I got my Scrum certification.
Scrum certified.
Hey, listen, I haven't really put it to work, but I have Scrum certified. Safe certified. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm one of these people, and it's great. I had to pivot it the same way.
Yes.
I looked at every opportunity to make a practical decision for my family in the middle of a pandemic where my business isn't making money.
Yes.
I'm like, man, how am I going to take care of these crew?
Yes.
I love God. I do ministry, but that's not my oil well.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
So you shared that with me. I was like, I could do that.
Yeah, no.
But then I thought about it, Kev. I was like, man, I can't have that. I can't be showing up to work and they be like, yo, David Tyree is my Scrum Master.
Exactly.
I'm like, nah, you ain't paying for that. You got to pay me more bread.
Exactly. I need a compensation.
Nah, I need my compensation.
Yes.
Nah, but just talk about, like you said, the even kill personality.
Yes.
Give an analogy of what that could be and what that looks like. And, is it still a growing field in the sense of, like, I know it's almost like a derivative of project management, but there's different attributes.
Yeah.
So, tell me in light of your experience within tech and, what kind of people are good candidates for this kind of role?
Yeah, I think the analogy I've heard is it's like herding cats. So it's like cats, they got their own personality, they trying to do their own thing, and you're trying to get them to go in this one direction, So
I got it. There we go.
Yeah, man, as far as the personality, the even kill thing for sure. Somebody who's very detail oriented, who can, manage deadlines.
Nice.
Conflict resolution is huge. If you can't take two people that don't agree and make them agree, or at least come to common ground, you're not going to be able to do well.
Got it.
You got to be able to ask the right questions.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go. Now, tell me, was that a skill that you felt like you had to learn? Because asking questions is so beneficial in relation to leadership and leading people, right? We talk about 5 whys. There's so many different methods, question bursts.
Yep.
I've, like I said, I got an MIT certification on, the power of questions.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
So, like, was that something that you, like, honestly, asking questions serves you well in your marriage? Come on, man, listen. Put somebody in position to tell you some stuff.
Yes.
So has that been a learned skill? Or is that something you felt like naturally there's an inquisitive nature?
Yeah, I think there was an innate ability there, but like any skill, you got to, hone it. You got to make it better. So I think, my sports background helped with the teamwork and the leadership.
That's
and,
good.
Just understanding different personality types and moving in the right direction, the same direction, I would say.
Sure.
But it's definitely been honed through, pursuing this.
That's excellent, man. Yeah. What would you say has been, the best transferable skill that you've had as an athlete that has transferred to you being in the marketplace?
Yeah, I think it goes back to the resiliency thing, because there's been, this week was hectic. But you gotta figure it out. You gotta figure it out. I got people like, I'm off the clock. Like, why you hitting me, bro? Like stop talking to me, man.
I'm off the clock, B.
You
start going, you're paid in full mode. You start going hard. What's good, B?
What's up, man? Like, I ain't got no money, man.
I ain't got nothing for you.
Yes,
I'm a different generation. I start going Flavor Flav on these guys. Like, yo, what is y'all problem?
Yeah.
No, I got you. So it's just the resiliency, man. Like some of the unpredictable moments, unpredictable personalities.
Yes.
Obviously, you talked about temperament and having, like, I can imagine that, right? And, high performance personalities often conflict, right? Ideas, egos. I'm gonna flip the switch on you just a little bit. Tell me, like, like, what did you feel like, in light of being I'm gonna go back to some of your sport experience, whether it was Philadelphia or Minnesota. Getting cut and coming to terms, like, you know there's finances involved and business involved. What was like that moment was like, yo, am I really good enough for this? And how did you deal, if there ever was a true moment of doubt?
Yeah, I mean, listen, the first time getting cut, it sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks, right? But to answer your question, I think I realized I was good enough to play in training camp. You know, actually going up against the guys. Because I'm not going to lie, the first time, especially the day I signed, you're like, all right, man, your locker's here, you know, everyone's in the calf. When I went to the cafeteria, I remember that moment like it was yesterday. I'm looking at the calf, a bunch of dudes sitting at the table. I was playing with on Madden like a week before. So I'm like, yo, I'm really in this facility, you know? And there is some of that starstruck, type of deal. But once you get on the field and you realize, I can go toe-to-toe with these people, now it's okay. Now I'm beginning to flow. Yeah. But then reality hits, right? You get cut, and you got to deal with that, right? Because at the end of the day, when I got cut at the end of training camp, I'm still an undrafted guy. Yeah. They say what they say. Like, we like you, man. You know, stay in touch. I'm like, it all sounds good. I'm like, it feels like a girlfriend breaking up with me, bro. I don't know. Like, it's weird.
Man, get it over with, dog.
Exactly. Just be real, you know. But man, got re-signed in December. Right before, I think Chip Kelly had just gotten let go. Yeah. And got re-signed, got brought back, and, got my contract renewed for a second year. Yeah. So, there was the results were showing that I could do it. I was
people wanted to see a little bit more of what you had.
Exactly.
So I gave you some and then, like I said, there's so many uncontrollables, right? Like uncontrollables in life and the things that you can control. Now, fast forward to, like I said, when we talk about this transition, like what brought you to that place of understanding your need? Because you said your defining moment was your understanding that you needed a savior and experiencing the love of God in this unique fashion. Yes. What kind of instability? What brought that to the surface in a way where it was like, yo, man, I'm undone. For all the success I've had, I'm still a jacked up man. What brought you there?
Yeah, I think it was a combination of externally, like COVID was happening. We didn't know if the sky was falling or what, right?
Real talk.
I was just coming to the end of myself because of pride, really. Like, pride cost me my NFL career.
Pride come before the fall.
It really did, man.
You just quantify that statement. Pride cost you your NFL career.
Pride cost me my NFL career because I've had this thing since I was a young boy where authority, submitting under another person was something I refused to do in a lot of different ways, whether it was parental authority, whether it was the authority of my coaches. And Deuce Staley, my running back coach in the Eagles, when we got a new staff, Doug Peterson and them, I could go home and I could learn the plays. I'm an intelligent young man, but it wasn't about knowing the plays. It was about, this is a man who's in authority over you, and you need to make him feel like he's in authority over you.
Like he's the boss.
Yes. And dude, boss is like a curse word for people. They
boss. Master.
Yes.
Master.
I'm telling you. People don't like to hear it, man, but it's a real dynamic. Yeah. And that pride, that lack of being able to make myself low in front of other people, it wasn't a thing at that age in my life. And
that's so honest, man. I'm glad we got to that because it's such a missed opportunity for even right now. A lot of dudes, a lot of dudes, and a lot of different reasons. But because when you're a guy who has less opportunity, like I said, when you don't know what you're stacked up against. I didn't have a lot of things going for me as a talent, but it was actually things like that I did have going for me. I knew that I was a casualty easily if I didn't find a way to get great at something. I knew that I needed to be extremely coachable and extremely intelligent. So I would say self-awareness is my superpower. And that's kind of what positioned me. So you got to do all those other things extremely right just to elevate yourself to get on an even ground when there's no money attached to you. You already, you easily expendable, right? So and you already have to do twice as much as the guy.
100%.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that's how you level the playing ground. But pride, you're being honest. Yeah. And I think, number one, that happens everywhere we go. That happens in the marketplace. This is where people who maybe it's your top sales guy, right? He out here bringing in the bucks, but he knows he's bringing in the bucks, so he's overconfident. He doesn't feel like he's expendable. This can happen to anybody.
Yes.
Now, up to date, you're at a totally different phase and stage of life, navigating these different areas of interest, business ownership, obviously even being a disciple, being a husband now, right?
Yes.
Leaning in.
Life, yes.
What's been the most difficult arena to flourish in?
The marketplace, man, I could do that all day. I think for me, it's learning how to be a good son, a good husband, and eventually a good father. It's just continuing in that, and walking in my divine purpose. Because anytime we get out of order, because it really is about being a son, a husband, and a father in that order, right? Yeah. Man, I've been blessed despite me trying. I could have gotten any girl pregnant at any time.
Yeah.
And, all of
Listen,
that.
boy, I was slinging that thing, man. Thank God it came back to the wife. We got it together. I was out here rolling it on the tail.
Oh, gosh.
Give it back. I'm sorry, y'all. Sorry, I got a little explicit right there. Got real.
It's real life out here.
It's true. It's true.
So I think just continuing in those three arenas, right? Being a good son, being a good husband, and being a good father. And I have great examples before me, man. So what's awesome is I don't have to make up my own thing. I can just follow the examples before me and
no doubt.
Be put in position.
Man, I love every bit of it, man. Like I said, it was great working with you with the New York Football Giants. You was a full blown character at that time, man.
Man.
Oh my God,
I cringe when I think about the conversations I used to have with this guy.
I had this dude in my office. He had some good conspiracy. He was a fun conversation. He had some good conspiracy theory in you.
Yes.
Tell he was intelligent. He had some Essex County stuff going on. Yes. He still had that. Man, I think I still got. I felt like he still had just a little bit of that in him, but you was excited to be in your role.
It's true. That thing went before me. It was crazy.
I think the last question I probably really would have is, I gather you as someone who has vision and intent. Where do you see, yourself, your goals, or even career within the 5? Like what you're dreaming this out. What does your life begin to look like in certain areas? Yeah,
I think I firmly believe in having audacious, some people might say crazy goals and visions, but I genuinely see myself and my wife in a place to where we can, in the next 5 to 10 years, leave an inheritance for our children's children, flourishing in the marketplace, flourishing in Christ first and foremost.
Of course.
And as far as the marketplace, right, getting into real estate, I have aspirations to start a podcast someday,
no doubt.
I got a great example right here.
I'm about to snatch them up. We all going into business together. Yes. I gotta mind my talent.
Come on. Got a few things in the back pocket.
What would be some of the things you want to, focus on in some of that media or that podcast? Like, what will be the areas of focus or things that you really want to position your life, your brand, and your voice around? Yeah,
I think pursuit of excellence, integrity, responsible investing, right? Investing in things that actually have impact. Yeah,
because you're in crypto. He got me over here.
I got him in it.
He got me over here. I ain't leaving no hints right now.
Right. We ain't gonna say the one.
I ain't gonna leave no hints. Y'all gotta tap in. Like, subscribe, and comment if you want some more information.
Gotta keep that thing. Gotta keep it right.
I felt like your transition were smooth, meaning like, what? It's not easy. It's extremely difficult. Yes. I had a blind spot on a professional development side through 7 years in the league, and I didn't intently determine what it was I was going to be good at.
Yes.
I was strong in the identity space, life, stable, but it was like, oh snap. Oh,
exactly.
Where am I replace this $1 million?
It's true.
Nah, my last season it was like $700 before taxes. You didn't get it.
Uncle Sam.
Come on, we got all the information, y'all. I got 7 kids, so it's all going. Chill. So man, just tell people where they can find you, man. Just in relation, because I think your story and your journey really resonates with the majority of players who are going to have a unique opportunity or the people who are just navigating these different ebbs and flows and looking to pursue, as you said, excellence.
Yes.
There's some grace and some tremendous, I'm like 30 years old. I said, man, I wish, you know, but every generation should get a little bit better. And you're one of those examples that are well positioned to flourish. So where can people find you in relation to just connecting and what you got moving forward?
Yeah, mostly on Instagram, man. First name _ last name, Kevin _ Monangai. Same thing on Twitter.
Listen, y'all make sure y'all catch a moment with my boy Monangai. I appreciate everybody for checking in. Make sure y'all like, subscribe. Every single Wednesday we getting this good fire straight to the chest.
Come on.
I came to bring the pain.
Yes.
Hardcore to the brain.
Yeah.
We'll check in with y'all soon.
Yes.